That is a microphone.
Yeah.
We call that a microphone.
Very cool.
Here with Frank Shamrock, legendary fighter and commentator. FightGame.net.
I got the microphone.
You talk into it.
What do you got?
You
right here?
Yes.
Is this on top of my fuzz?
It's leftover.
Left over the last guy. All right, here we go.
State your name.
My name is Frank Shamrock. They call me the legend.
Where were you on the night of the 27th? It was a stormy night.
Yeah, I don't recall. What's today?
Tuesday.
I would make today the 29th, so that was 2 days ago. I don't really have any clue. I'm still in Belgium and my brain is melted from jet lag.
All right, so we're here in Brussels after the Glory 2 event, a kickboxing event. What are your thoughts on the event overall?
I thought it was awesome. I mean, good matchups. The production was fantastic. I think the main event really kind of told the story of the whole series. I mean, you know, champion comes back, young guy pushes him to the edge, and you know he gets edged out. But just great story and great fights.
We all know you from your fighting background, but also as one of the main voices for Strikeforce on Showtime. How often do you get to commentate for kickboxing events?
This is my first one in about 6 or 7 years.
And
yeah. So it was, I mean, a little bit different. I just had to study a little kickboxing and kind of get, you know, freshed up on the Glory World Series sort of strategy. But I mean, fighting is fighting. That's the cool thing. Once you know the information and you know who they are, my job is to tell you who they are, why they're.
Did you find it refreshing to have like a different little game?
The fighting was the same to me.
Yeah.
It didn't feel any different while talking about the fighting. It did feel different with the international flavor and all the players. It did feel very global and big. You know, unlike when I do my show or we do our Showtime shows, it feels like we're kind of national. So this felt like a global event. I like that.
If you had to pick a couple fighters that stood out in your mind, who would they be?
I like that Gokhan Saki. I mean,
my favorite.
Wow, fighter. just everything. The whole package was tremendous. And then that Nikki kid.
Nikki Holson.
Was fantastic.
Very
just
good.
So crisp. It was a beautiful knockout. Just the composure he had about himself, I thought was tremendous.
Only getting better too, the both of them.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Man, it's like, come on, these guys are kids.
And anything that you saw that was disappointing, or a fighter that you thought was gonna, you know, come out and be strong, but just, you know, didn't live up to it?
There was nobody that didn't live up to the hype, I think. You know, a lot of these guys weren't really known, so I think a lot of them, or a couple of them, they fought conservatively. You know, this was sort of their stepping stool, and they were afraid they'd step off of it and not up one. So I think some guys held back, but I mean, there was 12 fights and 10 of them were kick-ass.
Now, with the MMA uprise, like it's, you know, kind of taken over America. Do you think there is an audience in America ready for a kickboxing league?
Totally. Yeah, kickboxing has always been supported by traditional martial artists and martial arts participants. You know, we're finding that most people that watch UFC, they don't do any martial arts. They're not interested in it. They don't participate. They're spectators.
Fanboys.
They're fans. Unlike kickboxing, people participate. They go to the gym, they train in karate, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Shotokan, whatever it is, and they go support their sport. Right. So you know, I built my whole career off the martial artists because I was a martial artist. I learned the way. I think kickboxing has a tremendous chance, especially Glory in the United States, because people are getting tired of seeing cage fighting, and it's not that. I mean, it's not that exciting anymore.
That leads me perfectly into my next thing. I was gonna say, I'm kind of you know, an MMA guy. I love MMA, but I always find kickboxing more exciting. Did you get an element of that watching it tonight?
You know, it was interesting to be in a different realm of combat.
Mm-hmm.
It was refreshing because I've done so much cage fighting, and to me, cage fighting is getting boring. You know, it's really turned into punching and wrestling and ground and pound. The rest of it is sort of, the rest of the art's kind of fallen away. So I liked the structure of the game tonight. I liked the intensity, the guys that brought it, and then the stories were good. A lot of these guys, this was their big shot, and they went for it, and you saw the result. It was phenomenal.
And the overall experience of the show, production value, the staff, everything. What'd you think of Glory?
Honestly, the whole Glory staff has been tremendous. I mean, how they combined all these companies and made one cohesive unit, I will not know, but it's a different experience working with a group that's really passionate about their vision. We had that with Strike Force, and everybody, it didn't matter. We didn't have to sleep. We were so excited about it. And that's the same energy that's going on here with Glory. People are, the guys are up to like 5 in the morning doing everything, so we could do our next bit the next day. And production-wise and community-wise, it was a really nice, pleasant experience.
Do you plan on commentating for Kickboxing again or for Glory?
I hope so. If they call me back. I did sign a contract for December the 2nd.
Is that the Grand Slam?
The Grand Slam in Tokyo. So I'll be doing that one. And I hope to sign next year. I love their long-term vision, and that's something that I think we're losing in MMA. It's the long-term vision.
How much homework have you done on other fighters outside of the show from tonight?
Other fighters that I did not see tonight?
That you didn't see tonight?
Zero. Absolutely none.
All right, so then let's just base it on tonight. What would be a dream matchup of fighters that you saw tonight, or a couple matchups that you would want to see?
That's a tough one. I have no clue. I'd like to see Bunjowski continue to fight, and I got the feeling that maybe he was questioning that tonight, if he was going to keep going.
Yeah.
When he was saying, I'm a little tired and da-da-da, you could tell that there was a little bit of, maybe I should have stayed retired.
A 2-year layoff is a 2-year layoff regardless of how old you are. There's a lot of things that go into it. So, him being tired, plus he had the extra round. I think after he sits down for a couple of days and he's probably going to wish he took it back.
Yeah, it's so hard when you're a fighter to give up the game. And it's so hard to know when the right time is. And for me, the right time was when I wasn't in the gym anymore, when I was doing other things that were more important. And, you look at all the stuff that he's doing now. He's doing television, he's a model, he's a spokesman. It's like, is he really spending those hard hours in the gym? That's the question.
Since you're a fighter at heart, how often does it creep back in your mind? Just one more fight.
Never.
So you let it go.
I'm done. I've made my peace with the ring, with the cage, with myself, and with all opponents I need to face.
If you could turn back time, is there anyone you'd want to fight again, or fight someone that you did not fight?
The only reason I would fight somebody in this day would be to defend myself and my family, or if I could get Dana White along for 25 minutes. It's the only reason I'd be in a fist fight in this day and age.
But if you can turn back to when you were 25 or 30, like any fighter that you never got the chance to get your hands on.
The only guy that I wanted to fight
Dana White.
didn't get to was Sakuraba.
No,
I kicked Dana's ass, to be honest with you. I was his teacher. He was a fat little pud. But, Sakuraba was a dream of mine. And partly because we came from the same lineage. I was born from my brother. He started teaching me martial arts, and then Funaki became my teacher, and Suzuki became my teacher. But their teachers were Sakuraba's teacher. So we had this, third generation of style that had developed. And, in my prime, I wanted to face that guy who knew what I knew. And I just never had a chance to.
Did it start because your brother was teaching you, or because he was picking on you and you had to learn to defend yourself?
No, he was teaching me. Yeah,
so there was none of that?
No, I never had a relationship with my brother. I never knew the guy until we started training together. And, it was just different. He had a different mentality. He was a fighter. You get in, you fight, you beat the hell out of each other, and you hang out and talk about it. And I was a whole different, mindset.
A lot of rumors circled about you and him having a fight. Did you wish that fight had happened?
100%. Yeah, that was the one that got away. But in all fairness, it was my idea.
Do you feel like you had something to prove, or?
No, honestly, when I first wanted to fight Ken, I wanted to kick the shit out of him. I wanted to hurt him because I didn't.
He's a dick.
Ken was and is a damaged and complicated person. And when you put that person on a pedestal and they become your master, all of a sudden all those irregularities, weird things, they come out. And they're very, very obvious. And, I just, I took this as a martial journey. This is my chance to become successful and do something for my family and not be a criminal, not be an idiot. And, I didn't feel that from Ken. Ken was a fighter. He wasn't thinking about 20 years from now. And for whatever reason, at the beginning I was. And it just made us two different people.
Now, tell the people out there listening, fans or haters, either one. I mean,
as long as the haters are buying the shows and watching the TV, please hate me as much as you want.
Right. I've got to know there's so many more layers to Frank Shamrock than you expect, and so many more things than a normal fighter. Tell us other things about your life. Books. You have.
That's called Uncaged. It's my story, my life, and story of becoming a champion. And that was a process that took me about 4.5 years to do. And it was a wonderful journey because I don't remember most of my childhood. I had a terribly abusive childhood. I was in a broken home, and I did everything I can to get out of my home as soon as possible. But when I wrote the book, I got to go through all that stuff, and I got to go back there, and I had to ask the questions like, why was I locked in a closet, and why did this happen, and what the hell is wrong with this family? And that was really healing for me to write that. That was a good part of my life. And then we're making the book into a film because I really think that, dude, I used to live on the streets. I used to live in the park. I used to eat food out of trash cans. Like, I was poor and uneducated, and all my friends went to prison for the rest of their lives. All my friends died from drug overdoses, and I made it because I found martial arts.
Now this is, I don't know if it's a personal thing or however you take it. Do you think as a youngster or a teen you were an underachiever, and as an adult you were an overachiever, or do you think you just found your stride?
I finally found something that gave my life meaning and gave me a code and a path to live by. And before that, I didn't have anything. If I was hungry, I took food. If I needed something, I stole it from you. If you were bothering me, I kicked the shit out of you, because I grew up surviving that way. So, once I got into the martial way, just everything changed because I didn't have those same thoughts.
Right.
When I was young, if I walked by your wallet and you weren't there, I'd be like,
that's my wallet.
He should have left his wallet there. What a stupid person. That was my mentality. I didn't understand that there was something wrong with me until I went to jail, and they were like, look, you're a freaking idiot. You ain't getting out. You make your life right.
Well, I asked for a couple reasons because I think, first of all, how were your grades when you were in school?
Straight A's.
Straight.
Yeah.
That's why I asked, because you're very cerebral, you're intellectual, but you wouldn't know that unless you actually got an opportunity to talk to you or...
And when I was a kid, I was damaged. You couldn't talk to me.
Right.
I couldn't talk to you. It didn't make sense to me. I didn't know what you were saying. I couldn't hear your words.
Do you feel like you were always on the defensive or pulling your guard, so to speak?
I mean, I came up in a home where you couldn't be yourself, where you couldn't say what you wanted to say, where we were living on someone else's dream, and it's crushing to a human being to be forced into something that you're not. And the moment I got away from that, I flourished. I didn't know I thought everything was wrong with me. I thought I was a bad kid. I wasn't a bad kid. I was in a bad environment. As soon as I got out of that, I went crazy. I literally, anything I've ever wanted to do, I've accomplished. And it's because I got educated, I got away from the weird people, and I got my life right.
Who's your biggest inspiration in life?
Right now, my biggest inspiration is my wife. The fact that she put up with me all these years and all this crazy, it's been maybe 12 years, and this life and the things I do, and I had her 8 months pregnant sitting ringside when I fought Kung Lee, like the things she's gone through to support me as a person. I don't know if I could have done that for somebody. And that to me that's hardcore.
That's a nervous boy.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, man, no worries.